Okay, thank you. Hello, welcome in. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. My name is Angelina. I'll be doing your makeup today. I did just want to ask a couple questions before we got started. So was there anything in specific that you were looking for your makeup today?
Just a very good foundation and hydration on before we apply makeup.
Okay, perfect. So you would say dryness is one of your skin concerns?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. I'll make sure to keep that in mind while we do your makeup today. And first off, I'll start off with a headband to give you so then you can set your hair back. Next up, I'm going to prime your skin with these collagen pads for you. First, I'm going to start off with one of these collagen pads, which is going to give your skin a great start. It's going to give it some hydration, and also it's going to get it prepped for makeup as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with one of these, and then I'm just going to rub it around your face, being very gentle on your skin. We're going to work it all the way on the face. The only thing that I'm not going over is your eyes, just because the area around your eyes tends to be a little bit more sensitive than the rest of your skin. Alrighty. Next up, I'm going to bring my palette out, and I'm going to put a little bit of moisturizer onto the palette. And this moisturizer is by La Roche-Posay. It has SPF 30 in it, so it will be nice and good in the sun. And I also have this Super Berry Hydrate and Glow mask, which has hyaluronic acid in it. I'm going to mix these two up just a little bit. So I'm going to take this Q-tip and just apply it to your cheeks and then onto your forehead as well. I'm going to put it on the other cheeks and forehead. And then I'm just going to rub this in with my hands. Sorry, my hands might be a little cold. That's okay. We're going to give that just 1 minute to kind of sink into your skin so then your foundation doesn't separate with it. While that's sitting on your skin, I'm going to hand you over some chapstick. And this is just going to allow your lips to have some type of moisture on them before we put any products on there. So I'll put this on you. Perfect. And then if you want to rub your lips together, we'll give that some time to work with your lips. And next we are going to move in with some foundation. give it a nice shake. This foundation is the Clinique Even Better Clinical, and this also has SPF in it, so you will be protected from any UV rays. I'm just going to put a little bit onto the palette as well. Perfect, and then I'm going to kind of work the product into the brush very gently. I'm going to tap it onto the skin. I try not to do brushing motions, just so then the product stays even and there's no brush strokes in the product. If you could just go like this. Perfect. Alrighty, and then we're going to move on to the forehead. Your skin is so perfect, we barely even need foundation. And then we're going to work under the chin as well to make sure that the product blends onto your neck. Awesome. I'm just checking. Okay. Perfect. I'm really liking how this is looking so far. I think we're going to move on to our next step. For our next step, I'm bringing in the Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick, and this is going to give you a nice shadow to kind of carve out your face and to make add dimension to it as well. I'm not going to use too much, but we do want to add some color. Perfect. And then I'm just going to add the tiniest bit onto your nose as well. Alright. I'm going to go in with kind of an angled brush so then we can sculpt exactly where we want. And if I'm pushing or brushing too hard, just let me know. So far, this is looking very, very pretty though. Contouring the nose kind of elongates it, which makes it look a little bit thinner. And I've noticed that that has been the trend for the past couple months lately. And you have the perfect nose for it. Awesome. I'm going to move on to our next step, to blush, which, okay, let me see. We have a skin tint to work with, and I love skin tints because you don't need a lot of product. You don't need too much product, so I'm just going to add a dot or two onto your cheek, and I'm going to blend that out with just my 2 fingers first, and if we do need more product, we can always add more. I think I am just going to add one more dot. Perfect. And then we're just going to move to the other side. Same thing, we're just lightly tapping everything in. And also just keeping in mind everything that you're wanting for this look, making sure that we're sticking very natural. And then lastly, I'm just going to add the tiniest of dots on the tip of your nose, just so then we can blend it on your nose and the look will be a little bit more coherent with each other. Perfect. All right. I'm going to jump over to eyeshadow. And if we need to make any other adjustments, we can do that after. And I think I'm going to start with this color right here. It's more of a natural brown color, and that'll give us depth with her, with the crease of her eye. And I'm just using very small controlled movements with my brush. I'm starting with the outer corner of her eyelid and then moving towards the inner corner. I've noticed working like that makes it a little bit easier to blend eyeshadows. Perfect. I'm sticking with this same brown shade that we were dipping into and just moving over to the other eye. And we're just doing the same thing, working from the outer corner of the eye. And I'm stopping about halfway, so then we can add one more color onto this eyeshadow. Okay. That's looking pretty even on both sides now. I'm going to pick up this shade, the very first one, and I think that brown and that champagne color would go very well. And they're both pretty natural. This color we're going to stick into the inner corner all the way up to the center, which is where we had that brown eyeshadow. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I think that is looking very, very pretty. Could you just open your eyes for 1 second? Perfect. I really like this. Awesome. I think what I'm going to try to do next is add a tiny bit of highlighter. We don't have an highlighter palette, but because this palette is full of all shimmers, we're able to kind of use that as a highlighter as well. So I'm going to go with this one because it's the closest one to a white color. And I'm just going to pick it up very lightly. I'm going to put it on the tip of the nose, right here. And that's going to accentuate that contour that we did. It's going to add the highlights to the lowlights that we just added. And then we're going to hop over to the cheekbone. Be very gentle while doing this. Doing the other cheekbone. I like doing highlighter with a feather brush because they are very, very gentle and they don't tend to put too much product into one spot. I'm just highlighting that brow bone at the top. I think that looks really, really good. I do think I'm going to add 1 or 2 more drops of blush just because the eyeshadow did kind of tone it down a little bit. So. We don't want to go too crazy with blush, but we do want a little bit of color. And because we added our highlighter already, it will make it kind of like a shimmer. Okay, I really like that. Looking very, very pretty. Alright, our next step is going to be mascara. And I'm thinking this L'Oreal Voluminous would look very, very pretty with your lashes. Alrighty. This is a very beautiful green mascara. And I think that will bring out this look perfectly. If you want to just keep in the position that you're in, I'm just going to rub this onto your eyelashes. I want to be very gentle not to get any mascara on your eyelids. Perfect. If you could just open for 1 second. Okay, awesome. I'll have you look down just like that. Awesome. And then I'm just going to do the other eye. Perfect. Can you open for just 1 second? Alright, I do need to add a little bit. I think you just look at me. Awesome. You look so pretty. Thank you. And then we're just gonna do eyebrows, and then we have the lips as well. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so next up we have brows. I'm gonna go in with this brow pencil just to kind of fill them in a little bit. And then I'm gonna go on top with a gel to set them in place. So we're going to do very, very small, short motions to make it look as natural as possible. This is one of my personal favorite ways of doing eyebrows. Perfect. So we filled in with color. Now we are going to go in with an eyebrow gel to kind of just set them in place and make sure that they don't move throughout the day. Perfect. Lastly, we're going to go in with a lip liner just to make sure that your lips are all coherent. And I think we might finish it off with a gloss, but that is totally up to you. So I like to outline first, and then on my bottom lip, I usually will do one small line in the middle, which kind of gives the illusion of slightly bigger lips. And then with the Cupid's bow, I just draw a small V. And that will give the same illusion of a bigger upper lip. And then I'm going to flip this around to the brush side and very gently blend in the lip liner. Perfect. And then would you like a gloss on top? Okay. Okay. Last up we have gloss. Just want to make sure it's nice and coated so we get an even layer. I also thought this was the perfect gloss because it's pretty sheer. So if you want to go ahead and rub your lips together. And then this is going to be your makeup all completed, but I can also do your hair if you're interested in that as well. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'll be right back. I'm just going to preheat the iron for you. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to section off your hair. I noticed that you had layers, just going to take this top section. Leave that there. And then we are going to work on this bottom section. So our iron is nice and hot now. I'm going to grab our first section. These are just going to give you the perfect little waves and curls. All right. Okay, I might have to do this one in 2 sections. And with each curl, I'm just going the opposite direction. So then there's some variance in there as well. And now that we're on the other side of the head, or getting to the other side, we're going to start twisting it the other way. Perfect. I'm going to have you spin just a little bit more. And then we'll probably do 3 small curls for the rest of this section. When you get to the front side of the face, you just want to make sure that you're curling away from the face. Making sure that we're framing the face and not pushing the hair towards it. Now we're on the last piece of this bottom side. Now these curls aren't going to be too tight because we still want them to be natural with our makeup. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and let this second layer down. And then we're basically gonna go do the same method with the rest of the hair. So I'm gonna start with this top layer, working on the face framing and then working all the way around. So I'll start with this section right here. And near the face, I like to grab a little bit tinier sections. Just so then everything, everything goes together. That's such a cute girl. I've noticed that your top section is a little bit thicker than the bottom section, so I might have to do a few extra curls throughout. Okay, I'm gonna split this one into two. Perfect. I'll just have you kind of scoot over to the side just a little bit.
Thank you. Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm not grabbing an already curled piece. Perfect. I'll have you turn just a little bit more. This will be my last piece on the side, and then I'll have you face forward. I'll have you face forward. Now we're just going to fix these framing pieces. Perfect. That turned out much better. And then we'll grab this bottom piece too. Awesome. Then we have just one more piece to fix over here, and then I believe our look will be complete. I feel like this one just is not coming out. And I don't want to keep putting heat on the one part of your hair.
That's okay, it's just stubborn.
Perfect. And then I'm just going to take my fingers to kind of loosen up those curls and get them more like beach waves, okay?
Okay.
Just being very gentle, letting the hair kind of do its thing. Perfect. I believe that is your completed look. Let me go find a mirror so then you can see your look and you can tell me how you like it.